I've played and covered hundreds of farming and cozy games throughout the years, and let's be real, some games are just pure cash grab flops. So naturally, you might be worried that Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar is just another flop. Well, it is a flop. The kind that makes you just flop all of your chores out the window because you're glued to your screen, you can't stop playing, and yeah, it's a chokehold. Marvelous really cooked with this one, and the result is a fantastic experience, though it definitely won't be for everyone. Now, in this video, I'm gonna help you figure out if this is the right game for you as I share my 40 hours of gameplay so far, mostly on Switch 2, but also on PC and Steam Deck. I'm gonna show you side-by-side comparison between the Switch 2 and the PC so you can buy whichever version that feels best for you. Don't worry, I'm gonna keep the footage just for spring of the first season, maybe like a little bit of summer stuff, but I don't want to give away too much of this game. I want you to experience it for yourself as well. Now, while I was working on this before you buy, I'm also prepping for you the tips and tricks video as well as a daily routine. Something else happened. We welcomed Squish, our little baby boy. He is the cutest kitten, the cutest fluff ball ever. He's an absolute menace, but also a king, and he lives here rent-free and having a great time. So making these videos while also taking care of this little baby was an absolute chaotic adventure. So do me a favor and squish the like and subscribe buttons. Yes, I know. We always say squish the like button, and now his name is Squish because he's Squish Marshmallow, which makes him a Squishmallow. I mean, look at him. He looks like a marshmallow. What do you want from me? Anyways, let's try and reach 2,000 likes to celebrate not only the launch of Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar, but also our cutest little member.
June, you're rather chipper. Something good happen?
And of course, it goes without saying, thank you so much, Marvelous, for the review code. It's gonna be story time. We're gonna keep it spoiler-free. You play as the new farmer in Zephyrtown, a place that was once known for its bustling bazaars, but now it has lost its glory because of some kind of mystery. First up, we have character customization, and Marvelous went all out with this. I really appreciate that we have hairstyles, eye colors, face shapes, beauty marks. Outfits are also adorable, and don't worry, you're gonna unlock a lot more as you play the game. When you arrive, Mayor Felix is gonna greet you, and one of the first things you're gonna notice is the voice acting. I love that Marvelous has leaned into this in both Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma and Grand Bazaar this year. It really adds more depth into the farming sim. Now, I'm gonna admit, the Japanese voices in Guardians of Azuma felt a bit more natural than the ones here, and they helped me connect to the characters a little bit more easily, but don't get me wrong, the cast here is still quirky, charming, and fun to grow close to. And yes, portraits are back. You can keep them on or turn them off depending on your preference. So let me know in the comments if you are team portraits or are you gonna have them off. I personally really like them and I kept them on.
Cool. Nice. Yes.
What I really love is how the game wastes no time pulling you into its core loop. Right from day one, you're setting up and running your very own stall at the town bazaar. You're gonna begin with a humble little tent, but as you progress, you're gonna unlock more and more customization options that not only make your stall look unique, but also allows you to sell your goods at higher prices because of the variety of bonuses that you can unlock. Now, the ultimate objective is to climb through 7 ranks and restore Zephyrtown's bazaar to its former glory. And as you advance, new residents are gonna arrive to set up their own stalls. So we have things like outfits, pets, ranch animals, and even gift wrapping. And you're also gonna find yourself helping longtime townsfolk launch their own businesses here as well, which adds a nice layer of side quests and character development that you get to witness while you play. The bazaar takes place every single Saturday, and you have 4 bazaar opportunities in winter and summer, and 5 in both spring and autumn. Each bazaar runs across 2 shifts, and you're gonna spend your time stocking counters, arranging items, and ringing the bell to bring in the customers. Then you do this little mini game where you're just button mashing, so prepare your thumbs. To keep things varied, every season has trending products that sell for higher prices, so planning ahead is always going to pay off. Occasionally, shoppers will ask for items that are not on display, but they are in your stock, which means now you have to sift through the many items that you have put in stock until you find what they need. And you gotta act fast before they leave. This can be a little bit frustrating at times to find the item you need quickly, but granted, I can also see how it is a good challenge that keeps you on your toes. You're also gonna unlock sprites, which will help you boost your sales and get various bonuses. Now, between shifts, you can browse other stalls that are in the bazaar, you can invest in buying new ranch animals, breeding them, purchasing upgrades, or buying yourself some new decorations for your own stall, among a lot of other stall options. Completing a full set of themed counters, tents, and decor is gonna give you special performance boosts, and this will all make collecting them worthwhile, so you're gonna see yourself trying to make as much money as you can, but also running out of it pretty quickly. What stands out the most to me is how quickly the bazaar days fly by, because they only happen once per week. They feel like this event that you're looking forward to rather than being a repetitive feature. This encourages you to use the rest of the week wisely. You gotta prepare for this bazaar, so you're gonna be farming, cooking, crafting, and preparing so that Saturday will be the day you get the most payoff for all the hard work that you put in throughout the week. Now, you can still sell items at the local store if you need some quick cash, but saving items, especially trending ones for Saturday, is the best payoff for your hard work. When Marvelous invited me to their HQ earlier this year and I got to preview the game, which I want to say thank you guys so much for all the love on that video. Y'all have been fantastic and have been supporting me so much this year, and I really appreciate you. At that time, I said in my video that I was a little bit worried that maybe the weekly bazaar might become repetitive, but after dozens of times playing through this, I can confidently say that I still look forward to every single one. It's easily one of the most enjoyable parts of the game. So Bubbles, you keep saying, okay, we gotta prepare for the bazaar, we gotta prepare for the bazaar. How do we do it? Well, brace yourselves for all the content here. You can fish, you can catch bugs, grow crops, cook meals, forage flowers, mushrooms, and honeycombs. You can collect produce from your ranch animals, process items in the windmills, and much more. So let me walk you through some of these features because you're really gonna enjoy them. Starting with the king here, farming. You begin with just one plot of land, but you can purchase additional fields as you progress. At first, your tools are pretty basic, and you have some fun abilities like jumping into a super water or super harvest moves. These are gonna let you cover more ground when watering, tilling, or harvesting, though they're gonna use up extra stamina. Speaking of which, your crops need to be watered twice a day, and I highly recommend using fertilizers to maximize their quality. You'll also unlock 3 windmills, which are central to upgrading your tools and producing a wide variety of items like perfumes, flour, oil, bouquets, vinegar, accessories, and much more. The windmills are powered by the wind. This is a major feature in this game. So the stronger the wind is, the faster the items will get processed. And no, you can't blow into the microphone like you did in the 3DS version to make the winds go faster, although this would have been a really fun feature, but I don't think the Switch has that kind of capability yet. Inside the windmill, you can place up to 6 items at a time, and you can check their remaining processing time based on the current wind strength. The wind is also tied into the exploration. You're gonna be using it to glide and reach inaccessible areas when the breeze is strong enough to carry you. And I gotta say, the simple, added jumping and gliding makes moving around Zephyr Town feel a lot smoother and actually fun to do. Now, another concern during my preview video was the lack of a minimap, since the game only offers a general map, so I was worried maybe it's gonna be hard for me to navigate my way around. But after spending about a week in-game, I found it surprisingly easy to learn the layout and navigate without an issue. The map is actually very helpful. It shows you the locations of NPCs and various shops, so it's not as overwhelming as I initially thought it's going to be. You'll also find these barrels that are scattered around the town, so you can jump on them and jump higher, and this is also going to extend your gliding distance. This all adds a nice little layer of movement variety. On the same map, you can also see the exclamation points, which are in blue, or the ones that are in pink. These mean that you have new favors or maybe some cutscenes to watch. We're gonna talk about these a little bit more in a bit. Now, as you explore, you're accompanied by a whimsical soundtrack. It's so catchy, you're gonna find yourself just humming it. It's like Is so cute. Also, we have a fixed camera here, which means that you can't rotate or zoom in and out, but as Todd Howard says, it just works. Whenever your character passes behind a building, the game is gonna highlight the area with a circular effect, as you can see here, so you can still clearly see what's behind. And honestly, despite the camera being fixed, I never once ran into any clipping issues or jarring movements. For my fellow cozy gamers like me who have motion sickness, I can tell you, you're not gonna be getting dizzy, and this is a huge relief. The game is accessible, it's easy on the eyes, and we all know that this has not been the case with a lot of cozy games that have released this year. Now, beyond the windmills, you've also got fishing, which is pretty simple. You can choose to use bait or not, toss out your line, and then you're just gonna follow the fish's movements with your Joy-Con stick. Bug catching is simple as well, and the game doesn't really talk about it. I assumed for the longest time that I needed a net, so I kept waiting to unlock it, but boy was I wrong. All you gotta do is just walk up to a critter or a bug and simply catch it. The trick is to move slowly, so you don't have like a sneak feature like you do in Animal Crossing. Instead, just don't run, because if you do, they're gonna fly away. Just walk and catch them. Ranching animals is one of the most wholesome parts of the game. Just look at that little hop of the sheep, it's so adorable. You can herd your animals outside to graze on fodder, or you can keep them indoors when it's raining. Larger animals can be brushed and petted, while the smaller ones can be cuddled and even picked up. You can also push the big animals outside if for whatever reason the bell is not enough to herd them, and that way you can just easily get them outside or back into the barn. On top of that, you're also gonna get pets like cats and dogs. Cats help herd smaller animals, while dogs are gonna be better suited for the larger animals. These pets can be fed, trained, and petted, is that a word? And eventually you can even enter them into a pet show. The produce that you collect from your ranch animals can either be processed to sell for higher profit at the bazaar, or they can be cooked into recipes, and cooking is one of the key features here. So you can expect a huge variety of dishes to discover. Meals can be eaten for buffs, which are going to be really helpful for you. They can be sold for extra income, or they can be gifted to townsfolk. But here's something important. Almost everything that you forage, cook, or gather or harvest as crops has something that is called freshness. So over time, items will spoil, but you can extend their shelf life by keeping them in storage. Early on, both your bag and your storage are pretty limited, so upgrading them as quickly as you can should be your priority. You're gonna notice how fast your stamina drains as well, which makes eating meals and taking a bath every 8 hours essential. Later, you're gonna unlock a reward that expands your stamina bar permanently, and it makes daily tasks a lot more manageable. Now, I mentioned the sprites that lend you a hand at the bazaar. Well, that's not the only role that they have. Each sprite has its own preference, so Ivy loves foraged goods, Finley prefers fish, Honey favors honeycombs, Webby is always excited for mushrooms, and Penny just freaking adores critters and bugs. By donating these items to them each, they're gonna level up, and this is gonna improve the overall quality of those items when you grab them in the world. That means that they're gonna sell for higher prices. These sprites are also gonna give you happy energy, which is a currency that you gather from them simply by engaging with the game's mechanics. And then you can use this currency later on at their bazaar stall to buy unique items, like a stall set that grants bonus boosts, quality of life upgrades, for example, letting you place shipping boxes around the town so you can send your items back home when your inventory fills up, and other stuff as well. And while this is a lot of things to do, it's good that the game doesn't make you pass out before 5 a.m. But if you stay up too late, you're gonna wake up with a little bit less stamina in the next morning. This brings us back to our house. This is our space to save, sleep, and decorate. But note that decorating here isn't like what you see in other farming games. It's a lot more basic. It focuses on things like displaying trophies and flowers. It's just very small details. Personally, I don't mind this approach with games like Room Factory Guardians of Azuma, where we had a full 4 towns to actually decorate, and then Fantasy Life with so much decoration as well in our island and our house. I'm okay with a little bit more of a chilled and laid-back decorating experience. But I do understand that this might be a turnoff for some of you.
Who exactly are you?
And if you thought this is all that the game has to offer, boy are you wrong, because we still haven't scratched the surface and we still have a lot more. So another way to keep busy is for you to gather wood and ore, and not only can these be sold or processed, but they're also crucial for upgrading your tools, which is gonna make your daily farm life so much easier. And then we have a big chunk of this game, which is the social side of Zephyr Town, because outside of business, you've got plenty of time to mingle and not be single like a Pringle. So you can see every character on the map, which is a godsend, and every one of them has their own routines, side quests, portraits, voice acting, and little stories to discover. You're also going to be able to talk to them daily, offer them gifts, and even keep track of their birthdays on the calendar that's in your house. As your relationships deepen, you're gonna trigger special events, though sometimes you might hit a little bit of a heart lock. That means that you need to complete a favor before you can move forward. So these will be the blue exclamation points on your map. The nice part is that these moments reward you with useful things like new recipes, clothing, crops, and medals, so it always feels worth engaging with everyone in town. I've been loving the character stories. They're definitely simpler than what we have in Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma, but they still add a lot of depth to the town. Watching bonds like June and her dad Eric, or the sibling relationship between Derek and Jules, or Sophie's connection with her father Felix, it really makes the town feel lively and fun to discover. And I'm gonna admit, even though there's a new quick interaction where you can just simply wave at people instead of chatting, I almost never use it. I find myself wanting to engage with everyone every single day, which usually means I'm crawling into bed at 4 a.m. in-game, because most of the NPCs go to sleep at 10 p.m, so I'm trying to see them all before that. And then at night, I'm trying to gather my ores, water my plants for the last time. So yeah, I've been yapping with everyone every single day. And it's funny how in my preview video, I thought this wave mechanic is genius because it means I don't really have to engage with people that much. Well, joke's on me. I am obsessed with everyone and I want to talk to everyone every single day. Romance is, of course, the heart of this game as well, if that's what you want it to be, and eventually you can marry one of the romanceable candidates and even have a child with them. And with that, I want to know, who are you romancing, because I know y'all love romance in your farming games, so let me know in the comments. Now, to help keep track of everything, your menu has a summary of all the characters, what they like and dislike, and whether you've talked to them today or gifted them. It's a massive quality of life upgrade compared to other farming sims because it cuts out a lot of the tedious guesswork. So it's a little bit like Coral Island, and it's a feature that I really appreciate. Another detail I really love is how NPCs acknowledge the present moment. So for example, if you faint, the next day they're gonna remember this and they're gonna bring it up in a conversation. They're gonna also talk about the festivals and how you're ranking up. So it really feels like they are engaged in the game's events. And speaking of festivals, I want to talk about these because boy does this game do them so well. I'm not gonna spoil too much because experiencing them firsthand is part of the joy of this game, but just a quick glance at your calendar shows you a packed festival. You have festivals in every single season. For example, in spring alone, you have the Flower Festival, Honey Day, and Tea Party Day. These events bring the whole community together and they give you something fun to look forward to almost every single week, aside from the Bazaar, which you're also gonna be really excited for.
Here. I'm very grateful.
Now, one of the things that I love the most about Grand Bazaar is its pacing. You know, we've talked about Tales of the Shire recently and I was not happy about it. Guys, this is how you do cozy gaming right, and this is what slow pacing should be like. This game is slow, but in the best way possible. It's steady, it's deeply rewarding, and I cannot emphasize this enough. A good farming game needs to strike the right balance of progression. Every single unlockable feels so satisfying to get, whether it's new crops for the new season, items, new tools, donating stuff to the sprites, windmills, Animals, characters, bazaar stalls, upgrading your stall, the festivals, every single step motivates you to keep going forward. And a lot of you actually asked me about this specifically. You asked me about the pacing of the game. Is there a lot of grinding? Does the game feel boring? Or do you feel like you get everything and you burn out quickly because you've just run out of content? I can safely say that Grand Bazaar finds a really nice balance. It encourages you to take your time, to explore, and to savor the experience without dragging its feet or overstaying its welcome, which is perfect. The game gives you plenty of achievements as well to unlock on top of that, which adds to the fun factor. For context, it took me around 19 hours to reach the first bazaar in summer, and the game starts in spring, right? That's how much content there is to do here. I found myself milking each day, staying up until 3 or 4 a.m. in-game because I always had something left to do. A lot of times I go to bed so early in farming games because I get bored and I feel like there's nothing to do. Now, of course, if you want to skip socializing with the townsfolk, you're gonna run through the game a lot faster. But in all honesty, engaging with everyone was part of the fun and it made every day feel just so rich and rewarding. But with that said, I still understand that a lot of you do not like slow pacing, and don't forget there's no combat here. So if you care about more fast pace, like your my time at Sandrock, my time at Portia, Coral Island, that kind of vibe, this game might not be the game for you. So I asked you in a poll in a community post, which platform will you be playing Grand Bazaar on? And the majority of you voted Switch 2, which is why I decided to cover this game on the Switch 2. And I'm so happy to say the game looks fantastic. You can buy it on Switch 1 as well, or you can buy the upgrade for it on Switch 2. But whether you're playing on Switch 2, PC, or Steam Deck, the game is amazing. Naturally, the PC version and the Steam Deck are gonna give you more settings to tweak the performance, but I was still pleasantly surprised by how beautiful the game looks on Switch 2. And unlike Rune Factory Guardians of Azuma, where we had a lot of pop-in, we don't have any pop-in here at all. I would assume the smaller design of the world and Zephyr Town in general helps because compared to Guardians of Azuma, the world over there is a lot bigger. One thing worth pointing out is the depth of field effect on Switch 2. It's enabled by default and you can't turn it off, and for players like me who have motion sickness, which I know a lot of you are like this can raise a little bit of concerns, but luckily, since this feature is only available during cutscenes, it's not going to distract you and it's not going to cause any motion sickness.
Enough, everybody!
Now, before we get to our signature, this game is for you if, not for you if, and my verdict, hello you gorgeous human being, it's Miss Bubbles. If this video is helpful so far, squish the like and subscribe buttons, and consider supporting me by visiting my Patreon and Ko-fi pages. These are gonna be linked for you in the description box below the like button. Every little bit of help goes a long way because these videos take so much time and effort to make, but I want to keep making them for you, so maybe you'd like to send a coffee my way. So, this game is for you if you're okay with a slow-paced farming game that still rewards you for your time and effort. If you love spending time with townsfolk, getting to know their stories, and building relationships. If you like shop management elements, if you want a bit of that, old-school farming gaming charm, but with a little bit of modern-day twists and turns and better quality of life features. And it's for you if you just want a cozy bundle of joy and happiness. This game, however, is not for you if you want a fast-paced farming sim where everything unlocks quickly and there's combat involved, if you prefer heavy decorating or town building systems, if you get easily frustrated with these small storage and stamina limits at the beginning because they can be a little bit tedious, and if you don't enjoy juggling multiple systems like freshness and, sprites and stamina recovery and cooking and all of that. As for me, I can easily say that Story of Seasons Grand Bazaar is a reminder of why I adore this genre so much and why I get so sad and frustrated when I see a cash grab out there. And it's also why I love, covering farming games on this channel. While this game is definitely slower than some of today's farming sims, it's still done in a way that feels very rewarding. It's not a game that's gonna click with everyone, but if you're craving a new cozy game that blends farming, shopkeeping, and quirky characters, this one is absolutely worth your time. You're gonna be stuck in that loop of let me play for a few minutes and then you realize, oh crap, 2 hours have passed by and your in real life chores are now side-eyeing you because, well, you're too busy romancing jewels. And honestly, the price point feels just right for the amount of polish, love, and dedication that Marvelous clearly poured into this one. But let me know if you're getting this game for yourself, and check out this video next because I have my beginner tips and tricks video for you already for this game. Thank you to my YouTube and Patreon members who make videos like this possible, and a shout out goes to the game dimension, Jake Logan, Yugoslav, and Stella for going the extra mile. Until next time, stay bubbly.